Welcome back to Colonial Airstream. Every adventure needs a base camp. Whether you're going to explore, you're going to pack up, hit the road, and head off the beaten path, well, the Airstream Basecamp is designed for all those needs. The interior width of this trailer is 6 foot 4.5 inches. The exterior height with the optional air conditioning is 8 foot 6.25 inches. The interior height with air conditioning, well, you have 6 foot 3.5 inches to the bottom of the air conditioner. The unit base weight is 2585. That's without options. The maximum trailer capacity, that's the axle rating, is 3,500 pounds. The hitch weight with propane and battery is 410 pounds. You have a net carrying capacity before options of 950 pounds in this trailer. That's a good amount of cargo carrying capacity for a small trailer. It's 16 foot 3. That's from the center of this ball to the very back of the trailer. It's got a 2 5/16 inch ball, a manual hitch jack to raise and lower the height of the trailer. It's made out of the same aluminum that the traditional Airstream travel trailers are manufactured with. It's got extruded aluminum window frames that are riveted in place. It's got tinted safety glass windows all the way around. Beautiful look here. You got a view when you're inside all the way from that side and halfway around this side, and it continues in the bedroom. This trailer is 7 foot wide and has a 3,500 pound gross vehicle weight rating. The door is handmade at Airstream. It's a little bit different style door than the rest of the Airstream travel trailers because it's completely flat. It's not curved like the other model Airstream trailers, but it still shuts very solid. It's got a lock and a deadbolt, and you can bring it around here and hook it in place to prevent the door from moving around on a windy day. Inside the door, there's a blind. There's insulation inside the door here. There is a retractable screen with magnets that keep it in position. It's got a steel entry step. The bottom of the door frame here has some grip tape so you don't slip on the way out. And it has the extruded aluminum frame around the whole entire door, and there also is a gutter rail on top of the door so you don't get sheathing rain down the door. It spits it off to the side. There's also an LED porch light. There's the Basecamp medallion. It's all aluminum. It has ABS plastic wheel well moldings here. Gives it an automotive design. Integrates the body into the wheel well. I do like that characteristic. It looks very close to the original Airstream Basecamp, which these are fiberglass, but major improvements on this product. It has Goodyear tires. They're 255/55 R18. There's stabilizer jacks in the back two corners, and it comes with the tool to crank it down, a manual crank. And there's an outside GFI protected electrical outlet. These are all buck riveted to an aluminum structure. It's an aluminum ridge structure just like the traditional Airstream travel trailers. Let's take a walk inside because you're going to be surprised at how much room this trailer has. The back here folds down into a bed. There's supports here that you can lay across the back, set the two dinettes up, and have a U-shaped dinette. You could fold one side of the bed out and have a half bed and just use this area for seating. Or you could fold both down, which I'll show you in a little bit, and use as one large bed. It has roof locker storage. It's a net design with a pole, and you can lay your gear on top here. There's also one on this side. The back door opens from the inside or outside, and there is an insect screen you could roll down, and that snaps in place nice and tight up against the body and goes all the way down to the floor. And then the back door opening allows you to load cargo inside. So if you wanted to load a bicycle or some of your equipment inside, you do have a utility door, which is very helpful. And the door itself It's a heavy-duty door. It's made partially out of ABS plastic and fiberglass aluminum clad. This rolls down, gives you privacy. You can snap this in place. And there's some pockets integrated into the back door, so you can put some gear up here. There's 3 pockets total. There's storage below the seating here. This bench lifts up and you can put a lot of gear in this cargo area, and it houses your table supports. There's one for this table. You just screw it in to the floor. One here. And then the tables are down here on the floor. You just take the bungee off. And you can position it whatever way is comfortable for you. This table's same thing. And there's plenty of room to get out and walk around. To get it off, just push. There's a little button on the side, and that releases it out of the divot here. Same thing on this one. Okay, and then to get the table out, you actually have to step on a black button on the floor, push down, and then you can unscrew each one of the legs. And then put it away in the storage compartment. Same thing back here. And this material is extremely durable. And there's enough cushion here for a comfortable night's sleep. The backrest will be part of the bed. You'll see that very shortly. And then while I'm setting this up, at the head of the bed, there's an electrical outlet that will work when you're plugged into electricity at a campground. There's a furnace duct, and there's 2 USB charge ports as well. So we're going to put the little short legs in, and this is part of the bed support. And before I block it all in, this is our battery charger. This converts AC to DC, charges your batteries, has all your breakers and 12-volt fuses. And then below the battery charger portion, which converts AC to DC, creates a little bit of heat, so there is a computer fan that kicks on periodically to cool that compartment down. And then on either side there's some D-rings here for tying down some light-duty cargo. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the cushions. They snap right into the wall, right into some of these snaps here. I'll lift this one up, and then the board here flips over. See how that works? It lays on top of these 2 tables, and then you can assemble your cushions back in place. But while we're in here, there is a way to get to the compartment from the top. And you can see all the construction is plywood with laminate. There's not one bit of particle board in this travel trail. It's all plywood, laminate, and it's also finished on the inside. So the part that you don't see, well, Airstream spent extra time to finish that as well. This slides over. This goes here. In the back portion, if you unzip this upper locker segment, there's 2 boards. And they go across the back here as the rest is support for the head of the bed. And this is the piece that fills the gap. And we have the same thing on this side. We're on snap. Bring that over. It's relatively easy to set up. You know, as you use it more and more, you'll come up with a technique. As you can see, put your pillow here. There's plenty of room to sleep, relax. If you want to sleep diagonal, you could also do that as well. And I believe it's comfortable enough for several nights of sleep. At the foot of the bed, there's an electrical outlet. There's this has the optional solar charging system, which gives you 160 watts of solar panels, and upgrade your battery to an absorb glass mat Group 24 series 12-volt battery, so there's no maintenance required on that battery. You can see how much battery percentage you have remaining, battery voltage, solar voltage, solar charge amps, solar amp hours, and your solar charging status. So I'll actually tell you if you're getting some solar gain. Also, we have our Sea Level 2 tank monitoring panel, where you could monitor how much battery juice you have, fresh water, about 17%, and the combination gray-black tank, which is empty. You could also turn on your water pump from here as well. The pump, what it does, you have a freshwater tank on board in the trailer that takes your stored fresh water, pumps it into the water lines of the trailer, pressurizes the water system, and then shuts off. Once you turn a faucet on, it will sense a drop in pressure and kick the pump back on for you. It's called the demand pump, and that's 12 volt. But never leave this switch on when you're towing. I wouldn't recommend it, just in case a faucet kicked on. You don't want water pumping when you're not knowing about it. Next to this, we have the Truma system. This is for your hot water as well as your heat. And it's gas and electric, either or both. So the way the system works is when you push this knob in the middle, that allows you to then spin the knob to whatever source you want to put on. So you can see it going through each one of the items here. This is the initial setup. We have the clock. You could also have it set up on a timer. When we go back up to the top, a little picture of a motorhome camper there would be your heating system. Now once we're on that, we hit push, and its system's on off. So now we could turn the system temperature up. As you can see here, we can bring it all the way up to whatever desired temperature we would like. And then it will, eventually when the system kicks on, you'll see that flash until it gets to your desired temperature. Once it gets to your desired temperature, you'll see that stop flashing. Okay, now, also we have our hot water. So we could turn hot water on Eco, which will give you a warm boost of temperature. Hot, which will give you a very hot temperature for showering. And then there is a boost feature, and what that will do is if you actually have your furnace on, it will shut your furnace off while it's creating hot water, so you could have enough hot water for a good amount of length of a shower. Okay, the next item here is your source. So once we're on hot water, you could change the source now to a bottle that's propane. You could have propane with one element of electric, and you have propane with 2 elements of electric. So you decide, or you could have 1 element of electric or 2 elements of electric without propane. You do have the choice there as well. And then you just hit back, it brings you back up to the menu. And then the fan, there is 2 speeds for the fan. You have a ventilation for just circulating air, but if you have your heat on, you can have fan speed 1 or 2 for you. And then you could do the iNet through Truma, and it's a device that you install aftermarket. You'd have to get a second cell phone number through a family plan, and you could actually control through an app the heating and domestic hot water right on through your cell phone. But you could do that aftermarket if you decided to. This is your temperature sensor. This is what sensed the interior temperature in the trailer. And then you have a little plug that could come off so you could run extra devices through this hole here. And there's a lockable compartment here that allows you to lock some items in. You can see the hole here, so if you had a USB plug plugged in, you could run it up through here and out, and you could have your cell phone up here if you wanted to. And there's little nets inside here so you could store more items. And there's also a cup holder as well. To operate the optional air conditioning, you'd need to be plugged into a 30 amp shore power cord. And then you just spin the selector up to whatever mode you would like to be on. We're going to put it on low cool. Now you can change the direction of how the air comes out. There's filters you need to clean and check periodically. And then you can change your temperature setting. So I have it maxed all the way out to the coldest setting that you could possibly have. And that will cool this trailer in a relatively quick time. As you can see, it's pretty hot out here today. So what I'm going to do is I'll close the door. It's not that loud. This large style air conditioner in this small trailer, it actually is at a decibel level where you could hear me perfectly fine and we could have a conversation. So that's a really nice air conditioner I put in this trailer. I'm just going to fold back one of the beds here. So I could show you at the foot of the bed here, there's another USB charge port. And then you have a carbon monoxide detector, which is required by code with a 9-volt battery inside that you have to check periodically. To open the windows, there's some hardware here hidden behind this snaps. You pull out, push, and lock it in place. Don't tow with the window open, and make sure before you tow the trailer away that it's locked in place all the way. There's insect screen for each one of the opening windows, and then you have blackout privacy shades, which also on a very hot and sunny day block out some of that excess heat. So what you're going to do is roll these up and just zip it up. An interior decor we're in is called Red Rock, and the Red Rock will have red zippers with a red accent here, and then on each one of the cushions there'll be some red stitching. There's a more muted version of this called River Rock, which wouldn't have the red stitching, but it looks very similar. And then there's Warm Stone, which will have a tan cushion material. Right now, the most requested is the Red Rock, but I have sold many of the River Rock and a few of the Warm Stone. There's Velcro that keeps this in the middle from sagging, and then your zippers all the way at the top. Gives you a tremendous amount of privacy. There's a grab handle at the entry door, and then right over the entry door there's a bumper, so on the way out if you forget to duck, you're going to hit your head on the bumper. There's a smoke detector with a 9-volt battery. There's key hooks here. You can see this corner here, this is actually one large piece of extruded aluminum, so it's very durable when you're loading things in and out. You don't have to worry about chipping an edge of a laminate. There's a storage compartment below here. And then there's a storage cubby here with a bungee to keep items in. There's 2 bungees here, so you can put spices here if you wanted to. And there's another furnace duct here as well. Then you have your lighting. So you have a bathroom light you can control, your ceiling lights you control, your galley lights, and then your outside porch light, all controlled from this switch box here. In the galley area, there's some more racks for additional storage, and that's screwed into an aluminum piece, a molding on the edge. There's a fire extinguisher. There's shoe storage below. You can bring this out and wash it out too. There's storage below the microwave, and in this compartment I have stored the quick release propane line for a low pressure grill. This will be for a small camping grill, but if you do have a regular grill or a larger grill, there is a propane tank built into the trailer that you could just hook the grill right into one of those propane tanks if you decide to. And then you have your spare tire crank. This does have a full-size spare on it. And then there's an electrical outlet tester that you'd use when you go to the campground, plug into electric. Just make sure that you're getting that the electric is wired properly. This will indicate different scenarios here. This has the optional microwave, a little carousel inside, very easy to use. It's a high quality microwave too. And then the Dometic automatic 3-way refrigerator. There's a little thumb button on the top, just push up. Door opens. Inside there's a freezer compartment. Now, I recommend turning this refrigerator on the day before you leave for your trip. It takes us 6 to 7 hours to completely cool this refrigerator down on a very hot day. What it does is it removes the heat. It's an absorption style refrigerator. Then load your items in, and before you hit the road, shut the refrigerator off and shut your propane tanks off. There's no need to leave this refrigerator on when you're towing down the highway, and it's very dangerous to tow with propane turned on as well. Underneath here is the controls that allows you to turn it on and off. It's going to default to an automatic setting, which will automatically check to see if you're plugged into electricity. If you are, it's going to run on electricity. If you are not plugged into electricity, it will automatically switch over to propane. And if for some reason it misfired, the check light would come on and stay on. So if you forgot to turn your propane tank on, or if you're out of propane, that check light would come on to warn you. You can also manually run it on propane if you decided to. If you had low amperage, if you're using a little portable generator, you could manually shut the automatic mode off and then run it on gas instead. I recommend just leaving it on automatic. There's some storage here above the refrigerator. There is some storage here to the left of the refrigerator. It has a silverware organizer built right in that recesses right in so it doesn't slide around. And then below this cabinet, under the floor, is the spot where your battery is. And this has the optional solar, so we have a Group 24 series Lifeline absorbed glass mat battery. There is room for one more battery that you can run in parallel, a 12-volt battery in parallel, right in that compartment there. So you need some jumper wires, additional tie downs, but there is room for it. Below we have a tank heater. This is for unexpected drops in temperature. So if you're camping and at night it gets below freezing, this will give you about a 7-degree boost inside your gray-black tank, which is below the underbelly, insulated and sealed in a compartment. You flip that switch on, it uses your battery to boost that temperature inside the tank. Think of a heated seat in a car, a little pad in the back of the seat. That's pretty much all that is, and that is just for unexpected drops in temperatures. To the left of that, we have your propane leak detector, which is hardwired to the battery system of the trailer. That will allow you, be an audible alarm if there's a gas leak inside this trailer. It is very sensitive, so if you do spray any aerosols by it, it's going to set it off. To the left of that is your battery disconnect. It's a manual battery disconnect. So once you're all done camping with the trailer and you shut everything down, there might be 1 or 2 things that are left on, you could shut the battery switch off and that will shut down the battery system. It's also very important to turn that on before you plug the trailer in if you want the trailer batteries to charge. Above here, there's another storage rack right above, and these are pretty sturdy. They're screwed in, and then there's a strap, a nylon strap that holds and supports, and there's some bungees on the netting here. These windows do not open in the front, but the shades zip up and stow away just like the side one we did earlier. There's electrical outlet and USBs. These will work when you're plugged into a campground's electric or into a portable generator. They will not work when you're boondocking, but there are other USB charge ports that will. These won't. There's a 2-burner cooktop. You got a low and a high output. You just select which one you would want on, put it on light, hold it in, and push the igniter until it ignites. And it's recommended to have your roof vent on and a window open when you're cooking. So to use the roof vent, you just twist until the lid opens up and then just select your speed. There's 3 speeds. This will not shut down when it rains, so just keep in mind, remember that it is open. There's a quick release screen so you can clean your fan blades over time and clean the screen off. And when you're done, just shut the fan off and manually put the lid down. Make sure you put this down when you're towing. There's a sink here over to the left with a glass lid. The faucet lifts up and then you can turn it on and off and change your temperature from here. There's also a little drain plug in it that if you wanted to fill the bowl up with a little water, you could do so. There's also another electrical outlet with USB that will work when you're plugged into electricity right next to the sink. Those are on a GFCI circuit, so you don't have to worry about if the outlet got wet, it would pop the breaker and you're protected. There's also a little rack here for spices, and there's some hooks here to hang some items here in your kitchen. There's another net rack system over here, over the kitchen sink, for you can put your dishes up there if you wanted to. The bathroom door has an aluminum frame all the way around, a little mirror in the middle. This is the lock system to keep the door shut. When you're inside, it's got a very heavy-duty gasket around, and there's a good amount of pressure when you close this door. Well, to make it a little bit tighter when you're inside showering, you could use these levers from the inside to squeeze the door tighter. There's a water rail here that when water runs down the door, it'll hit this and run it out into the drain. Inside, it's a very spacious shower compartment. I could stretch my elbows out, have enough room to wash my hair. There's plenty of headroom in here. And the toilet is really not that big of an obstruction. Remember, this is a small trailer, so there's a little bit of compromise. But I think Airstream did a great job putting it all together, so it's very useful for you. On the back of the door, there's a little mirror. There's two hooks on the inside that you can hang things from, and they're actually bolted to an extruded aluminum structure, so it's very secure. There is a netting system here on the wall, so you can put your shampoo in here. And this could get wet, it's not a problem, but it actually has the Basecamp logo on it. There's a little bathroom fan, just push up, push the button, that exhausts the steam out of the shower. And make sure you pull that down. There's a clothesline in the shower. You just unscrew it, bring it across, hook it in, and then lock it in place. Now you can hang your bathing suits from here. Light items. I wouldn't recommend putting heavy towels on here. There's a little bar inside. Now your towel's not going to be in the bathroom when you're taking a shower. You're going to leave that outside. But when you're done, you can hang it up here and let it dry. And then the shower wand hangs up on the wall. It's got a regular hot and cold faucet, pretty easy to use. There's a little soap dish down there. Once you get your desired temperature, you could either use it by hand or hang it on the wall, but you could pause it, lather up, turn it back on, your temperature's still set where you had it. And it's got a nice bright LED light inside this bathroom. Toilet paper holder is water resistant, so you can put your toilet paper in here, close the door while you're showering under normal conditions. The toilet paper is not going to get wet. And then there is a strainer for the shower here, and then you could actually plug it by screwing it in. The toilet is a porcelain toilet, regular plastic toilet lid. What you're going to do is put your foot on the pedal, fill the bowl up to your desired height. Don't push all the way, just push partially. And then once you're ready to flush, push all the way down. Pump will kick on, or your city water connection at campground will allow you a regular flush in the toilet. When you're done, it's going to fill up the toilet bowl about this much. I wouldn't recommend filling it all the way to the top. It's not necessary. And make sure you drain the toilet bowl down before you tow the trailer, because otherwise water is going to splash all around this compartment. Not the end of the world, because this is a wet bath. Alright, well now let's take a look around the outside of the trailer. Through parts department, you could order a visor. It's 76 inches long, slides right into this gutter rail here, and provides you a little bit of sunshade and light rain protection. Around back here, following the automotive styling that Airstream incorporated with the Basecamp, these beautiful aluminum taillight housings with LED light strips. Something you just don't see in the RV industry, what they do here with the taillights and the automotive styling. Above the rear door, where there's a gutter rail here for rain protection. It's got a heavy-duty handle. This is what it looks like from the outside. When you look inside, there's plenty of room to load some cargo in. Below is the spare tire, and the hole here is where you put the crank to crank the tire down. It's a full-size spare. And then these are little bumpers in the back, so when you pull out or come out of a dip, that the bottom of the trailer doesn't scrape. You'll scrape these first, but they're really high off the ground, so I wouldn't worry too much about scraping. You have your Airstream logo here over the door. It's raised letters, aluminum hinges. This is a 30 amp trailer, comes with a 25-foot power cord with a marine quick disconnect. This is our shop cord, but you'll get a beautiful gray cord that matches the trailer. This is the Truma exhaust for the Truma heating system. There is a freshwater potable water tank fill here, which is lockable. But you stick the hose in here loose, put the water on low. Once the tank's full, it will relief out of the little vent here. The one below it is your city water connection. So when you go to a campground and you want to hook up to their city water, you use the premium water hose that Colonial Airstream gives you in your RV starter kit. Hook that in. This has a water pressure regulator built into it, protects the inside of the trailer from high unexpected water pressure bursts. And that will not fill your freshwater tank. It will just supply water to all your plumbing fixtures when you need it. There's another stabilizer jack position here. If you ever remove the tire, you're going to use your jack and your tools from your tow vehicle. Just make sure your lug nut size the tool is the same size as the lug nuts on the Airstream travel trailer. But after you put the wheel on, you got to retorque the lug nuts after 10, 25, 50 miles just to make sure that they're secure. Also, it's recommended to repack your wheel bearings every 3 to 5 Also, it's recommended to repack your wheel bearings every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. The manufacturer of the bearing says 10,000 miles, but Airstream, in the travel trailer business, they want you to repack it every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. There's an outside utility shower, which gives you hot and cold water outside. And the way Airstream engineered this is that when you open the compartment, you can reach in and grab the inside shower wand and turn the faucet on and off right here from the outside. So instead of another fixture, you're using ones that are already there just on the other side of the shower. This is your waste discharge, so we're going to give you a premium waste hose with the trailer with an elbow, a clear elbow, a step adapter, and a donut to secure it tight into the campground's connection. Take the cap off, put on your waste hose, and then leave the tank closed. Once you build up enough waste in the tank, whether it's a quarter, a half a tank, 3/4 or full, you're going to pull this handle straight out. The waste will discharge out right into your waste hose here. And then when you're done, close it and then build up another load. There's a LED light here that illuminates this area at night, so if you want to empty your waste at night, you'll be able to see without having to use your cell phone flashlight. There's a little compartment here for wheel chocks, small items that you can put next to your dump station, built right into the body. There's an aluminum cover here. And then your VIN plate with your tire size, production information, everything's right here on the side of this little sticker. Has a 3M rock protection that protects the whole body from rocks and debris from chipping the clear coat. It's not the heavy duty stone guard that you get on the bigger trailers, because most people that buy this, they're going to be using a smaller tow vehicle. So if you do have a larger vehicle, I'd highly recommend using some type of mud flap system to protect the trailer. The cover here has 2 bungees, lifts up, and that's where you're going to store your power cord, which comes with the trailer, and the stabilizer jack crank. And then this lifts up and it gains you access to 2 20-pound propane tanks. And you could switch from left to right tank. You can have them both on. It has an automatic switch over. Each tank you individually turn on and off just like a barbecue grill tank. And there's a clamp that holds everything down nice and secure. This is open compartment, open air. It's required by code, so you don't want to store anything here because it will literally fall right out of the bottom. But once you put this tray on, this is what separates the top from the bottom, and you can store things in this top section. As a standard 7-way, we recommend your vehicle, when you have your required brake controller installed, have a 12-volt charge from the vehicle to this trailer to give you additional charge when you're going down the highway. And it has a trailer breakaway cable here just in case the trailer ever got disconnected from the tow vehicle. Pull this out and it'll lock the trailer brakes up so your trailer doesn't pass you on the highway. To never use this as emergency brake to park the trailer, because when your batteries die, the trailer's going to roll down the hill anyway and it will burn your magnets out. So make sure you leave this in. This is only for emergency purposes. You do want to check this periodically, check the cable. These are your safety chains. Make sure you crisscross them to bring slack out of them. Just keep twisting them up. And you don't want it too tight, you got to be able to turn. On this side here, There's the propane quick disconnect port we spoke about earlier. So just snap the propane line in, turn the gas valve on, and have it already hooked into your grill prior to you hooking this up. And remember, it's for a low pressure grill. And there's another D-ring here on the frame so you can tie items to the frame of the trailer and secure them. And then this is the latch system for the entry door. You can store that when you're driving. The Basecamp is ready for anything, so make it work for you. This is Patrick with Colonial Airstream in Lakewood, New Jersey. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, comment, share, subscribe. I love it. I'll see you soon. You can see us on the web at colonialairstream.com. You can see me on Facebook. I'm Colonial Patrick. Our number here is 800-265-9019.